Hello YouTube, my name is Deke, and today we're reassembling a 750 King Quad after a fuel pump failure. I brought it in the other day, we did a bunch of troubleshooting, lost the camera footage like all good projects, and realized that that's okay because we're going to go over putting it back together and how we got to this point. So the bike basically had this big pan underneath of the fuel pump with an oversized fuel filter, and the fuel filter is rock solid with dirt and debris, but there was no debris in the tank. Most of the videos I've seen, always showed that the bottom of the tank is full of debris, and there wasn't not one speck of dirt in the tank. But this was brown. But today we're working on a 2013 Suzuki King Quad with some fuel delivery issues. We are about the third owner of this bike, and like all ATVs, it hasn't had a good life. It smokes pretty much when it runs, but when it runs good. But the last couple months it started having a lot of fuel delivery issues, and we did a whole bunch of troubleshooting, and I watched several videos, and that's one of the things, I guess you're going to get a lot of commentary with my videos, but I've seen several videos on the fuel pump, and in most of the videos they always say that the fuel pump or the fuel tank will be full of mud, and then you got to replace the fuel filter. Well, so you can see here I got the hole covered because it's got airplane fuel in it, but that's the tank down in there. You can see all the way to the bottom of the tank, and I've rubbed it and cleaned it and can't find not one stitch of dirt in the tank. So that's very exciting. And then all of the plugs and everything, and all of this, once you put the back on here, all of the wiring lays into special trays. It's very simple to put together. But right now we got to fit that pump into the hole, which is right here. So we're going to unwrap the pump. The one thing that they wanted you to understand is, you can't really see it, but it comes with a very small fuel filter on the new one. Now, there could be a rub to that, there may not, but this bike's got a lot of years on it, a lot of use, and I'm gonna have to put a jug on it soon anyways, because she's smoking a little bit. She's burning a little bit of oil, but it's still an awesome bike. It's never had a drive belt put on it, so that'll be a video for another day, is doing that. And I got a little bit of welding to do on the hitch stuff, but today we're just trying to get the old girl to fire up. So give me a minute, I'm gonna get this prepped and we'll start putting it in. But so here we are. This is the whole setup for the bike. This is your fuel level indicator. This thing here, I guess basically goes underneath the carburetor so that when you do get sediment in the bowl, it's not going to suck it in, or you're going to have a lot more sediment to be able to get into the bowl. But it definitely guarantees you're not going to be sucking off the bottom of the tank. Now, when I started having my fuel related issues, let me back up. So when I started having the fuel related issues, I try, and I tell all my friends, do not run pump gas in these things. Always run non-ethanol gas. In my chainsaws, my lawnmowers, everything's non-ethanol gas. Well, when this thing first started having the fuel related issues, we thought, well, maybe the fuel and it's getting old. So at one point, cool story, I had like 6 of these little KLF 250 Kawasaki Bayous. I had, I don't know, 5 or 6 lawnmowers, and then I had a 67 Massey Ferguson tractor. I had the best bike I ever rode. I had like a 2015 or 16 Can-Am. I got it. It was like 4 years old, had 16 hours on it. And a guy had bought it for his wife. They bought matching bikes to ride. And she kept, every time she would ride it, she would get pregnant. And so after a while, you know, she stopped riding it. And then the whole 16 hours was him every month doing what I was doing. Every month you take it out, run it once around the building, and put it right back in its parking spot to keep the carburetor cleaned out. And, you know, everything moving and rotating and the battery charged. So it was crazy. And then one day I'm out there, I'm doing the same thing. Every Sunday morning I would ride each ATV once around the building and put it back into its spot. And then you go get on all the lawnmowers, run them once around the building, put them back in their spot. Same way with the tractor. So I had a racetrack around my house, and it would drive my wife crazy because between me and my friends running pickups into the backyard and the camper, I mean, we never really had a nice lawn, to say the least. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this thing wiggled in here real quick, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, that went together. That went in way easier than the other one came out. Come on, baby, get in there. All right, that was so easy, it was scary. So, and then it's just got a screw-on tank ring like on a drink cooler that's gonna fight us too, because the other thing that drove me crazy was in the videos that I watched, the guy's ATV, I don't know if the frame was pre-bent or pre-cleared, but he didn't have to flex a whole bunch of stuff to get the snap ring in there and make it work. Where on this bike, it's super tight and it was not happy. Alright, so we're back, everybody. A quick update. My son just dropped by to help finish putting this together. No, that'll be last.
I'm just getting out the way.
So we're going to pop this rack back off the back. I pushed the pump in there, you know, and the fuel's got a quick connect. So you just push it on and connect, and then the fuel plug pops right in too. So that's all pretty simple. And then give me the bolt. So, I got a little magnetic tray to hold all the nuts and bolts. And then, hold on. So, I just kind of want to show you guys on this thing. The wiring all lays in trays. It all comes through one hole, and everything's got its own place. So it's not like you got to be super smart. You know, once the wiring lays back, it's going to show you where everything goes. And then for the winch controller, we actually took pictures. But if you look, the tops of the bolts are colored with the wire that goes on them. So it's super, super simple. So I'm going to go ahead and hang this back up on the tripod, and we're going to pop this on there. All right, we're getting there. Give me 1 minute, we'll be right back. Okay, so we had a small camera failure because we're still trying to just figure this out. But here we go. All right, let's set this bad boy up here. Let me get over here and I'll guide wires. Hold on. This has to go through first. We gotta wiggle it. Okay, so where are we in all this? So we've got the back sitting on there. It's not bolted down or nothing, but we were able to pull all the wires back up inside and just start laying them into their trays. And then is what I did before we took this bike apart was I took several very detailed videos because this bike, the electrical's been modified a couple of times, plus the winch and the extra lights and everything. So there's a lot of extra wires in there that aren't, I don't want to say properly labeled, but they're oddballs. So I'm just reviewing all the video to make sure that we get everything back in the right spot, and we're very close. I mean, we're probably within a few minutes of being able to start this thing up and check it out. So I'm pretty hopeful on that part. And we'll see where we go. I need another minute to lay out some tools and stuff. I know you guys don't want to watch that stuff. Almost there. Okay. All right, now we're starting to look like something. All right, one more look just to make sure. All right, 2 wires. So looks like for those 2 wires, it'll be these 2. Okay. So there's our couple of hots. That one should have probably ran under, but it'll be all right. All right, now comes the 8,000 ground wires. Got one more to hook up here that went around kind of like this. Okay. At this point, I think we're down to just a couple of ground wires. This one goes on the side, and these two go on the top. We may have to go get a wrench for this one now, because I think we had to have the battery like halfway out to get this ground to come off properly last time. But I'll let you know in a minute. Yep, definitely gonna need a wrench. But we're very close. All right, one more. So again, the body is only just sitting on here. All right. So, there we go, zooming back out. We are at a point where hopefully we can, all right, we heard the fuel pump come on. We'll prime it once or twice just to make sure, and we'll give it a shot. Okay, I don't want to get my hopes up, but that's the easiest this thing has started in a couple of years. So I think we need to adjust the idle a little too. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of homework on that. But I really feel that this is gonna help. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna put a spark plug in this bad boy, and then put the rack back on it and maybe try and go ride it once. But thanks for watching, and I'll talk a little more or a little less in the next video. Thanks, y'all.